this is the climax where Perikuti comes and meets Karathamma while Palani is busy fishing in the deep sea, and he gets a shock. See this line: "Shark, a seagull, had been snapped by a shark. Palani put out his fishing rod. Only an experienced and skillful fisherman would attempt it." And on the shore, Karathamma, she has moved into his outstretched arms and laid herself against his chest. And I want all of you to, when Parikuti asks, "Who am I to you? Who am I to you?" She cupped his face between her palms and with half-closed eyelids wide whispered, "Who are you to me? Why, you are my pot of gold." See how brilliantly she has translated. Pot of gold. And once again, they were one. And see the last portion. Through clenched teeth, Palani growled again. See that statement. "Stop it! It isn't time yet for you to take me to the Sea Mother's palace." He pulled at the line tightly. And final line. He exulted and screamed, "Karathamma." And just think how this text is translated, or rather adapted, when it was made to a film. So, Jamin, climax. I hope you got the idea, right? So how that text was elevated when that was changed to a visual. And moving to the next part, the 4 types of adaptations. I think I should rush a bit from now onwards. One is faithful adaptations, as the title itself is very clear. The primary purpose is to match, M-A-T-C-H, match the literary text with the film version. So it will be perfectly faithful to the sincere kind of an adaptation. And the other one is variation or varied adaptation, which means the basic premise of the text, but often told, it will be changed, or sometimes a few portions may be omitted. Specific scenes will be omitted. So certain omissions, which will create a variation. That is the second category of adaptations. And, I think examples should automatically come to your mind. We'll discuss that also. Then another one is, the third category is appropriation. And that is the most popular category, I believe, that because it retains only a few fundamental features of the text. Maybe the theme, the setting. Other than that, when it comes to the structure and the tone, even the atmosphere, it will be different. Even the title won't be same. The filmy version will have a new title. So the first one is faithful adaptation, which is very true to the original. The variation, that means the basic things will remain the same. The fundamental things will remain the same, while the structure, the tone, the atmosphere, everything will be changed. the intersection and the appropriation. Actually, it was the appropriation. And the third one, the last one is intersection. It relies on absorbing the original text into the cinema version so that the two texts will match. A match will be created. A kind of a, not actually a faithful adaptation, but you feel a kind of an affinity towards the original. And these are the 4 types of adaptations. And there is another division also, like the literal adaptation, faithful adaptation, loose adaptation. So different versions are there according to different critics. But I believe that these 4 are somewhat very clear about the division regarding adaptations. So the examples, the boy in the striped pajamas is a classic example for faithful adaptations. And the other one, a modern classic in one sense, the Shashank Redemption, is also a faithful adaptation, I believe. And can you imagine a Hindi film during the 1980s, Angur? It's actually an adaptation of Shakespeare's Comedy of Errors. There are so many examples. It's very difficult for me to pick all the examples, all the films, maybe in an hour or hour and a half. So Angur is a perfect example for an adaptation, and this belongs to the category of varied adaptations. Hyder, based on Hamlet, is also an example for the second category. Third one, I told you, appropriation. Appropriation in the sense only the fundamental features will remain the same, but the tone, the structure, the atmosphere, everything will be different. Just think of the title. It's actually based on Pride and Prejudice, the Aishwarya Roy star, but which was released around 2005-06, I think. And even the title has changed to Bride and Prejudice. That means it will have a close resemblance, but still it has a different kind of existence. The second one is actually a Brazilian film. I'll show you the trailer of that film based upon Macbeth. Macbeth is beautifully adapted into the background of a bank. The lead character is the general of a bank, and the focus is upon 4 characters: Macbeth, Lady Macbeth, Duncan, and Banquo. So it belongs to the third category, appropriation. And the fourth category, Mel Gibson's Hamlet, is a classic example for intersection. And the other one is Life of Pi, the novel by Jan Martel, directed by Ang Lee. And it is somewhat faithful, but though it is different, it shares a close affinity with the original. And there is one more classification, and I'll rush through this. The displaced setting. Displaced setting means the film retains the original language, but it will have a different setting. The other one is acculturated adaptation. It retains the general scheme. The general idea will be the same, but lots of innovations will be there. Lots of additions will be there. Third one is the politicized adaptation. Politicized in the sense, the aim is to create a political statement through adaptation. And the last one is the radical homage, which is once again innovative, taking the allusions from the original text. So these are different classifications of adaptation, and I wish to play a few videos now, and then we'll go to the last part. The first one is, I want you to be familiar with a faithful adaptation, and for that I wish to play the visual of Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar, I think we'll go to the Caesar's murder scene first. And don't worry about the sound.
I was constant, I be banished, and constant do remain to keep him so. Oh, Caesar! Hence, wilt thou lift up Olympus?
The murder scene.
Bruce.
Just watch Brutus.
Oh, Bruce. Oh,
So I want all of you to watch the speech of Mark Antony also. Just see how it is close to the reality.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears! I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it was so, it was a grievous fault. And grievously hath Caesar answered it.
So since we are running short of time, and another one is from Macbeth. Macbeth, I'll play 3 different videos. The first one is the famous Orson Welles adaptation of The Witches. The scene of The Witches. Just think how differently he has created that.
Oil and trouble, fire burn, and cauldron bubble. Pour in cow's blood that has eaten her 9 pharaoh. That's sweating from the murderer's gibbet, thrown to the flame. Finger of birth strangled babe. It's delivered by a trap. Thick and slab like a hell broth, oil and power. For a charm of powerful trouble. When shall we 3 meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain? When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost, and what? That would be as a set of sun.
So I think this is very close to the original. And just want all of you to watch the modern version, how the witches appear in the modern version. There are so many other examples also, but still.
Live you or are you? That man may question.
See the witches in the background.
Are you?
And watch the next one. This is actually a trailer of the film, the Brazilian film. The English title of the film is The Moving Forest. And all the characters are there in the trailer. And I want all of you to note how much different is this from the original, though it stays honest to the original. Yeah.
Qual a altura do desaparecido? 68 anos, 1,63 m. Quem trouxe esse carro para cá tem pelo menos a minha altura. A gente tem dinheiro, tem uma casa maravilhosa, 3 carros na garagem. Eu estou falando de dinheiro. Eu estou falando de poder. O que houve com o Giancarlo? Nos abandonou? Estão tirando os móveis da sala dele. Ele desviou 18 milhões.
See Macbeth, Duncan and Franco. This is Macbeth. Lady Macbeth.
Do que você está falando? Do seu desejo. Vamos fazer um jantar secreto. Uma pessoa professor que não se emociona com música.
The dinner portion.
Fazer qualquer coisa. Brinde à memória do Heitor. Salve, Elias, novo presidente do banco. Qual o problema, César? Vai dizer que tá com medo de andar comigo.
Sabe qual é o seu problema? A sua ambição é maior do que a sua coragem.
Eu faço tudo que um homem pode fazer. Fazer mais é desumano. Descobriu alguma coisa sobre o crime? Qual deles?
So I will go back to the Othello versions also, and then we'll come to the last part of the presentation. And the most interesting thing which I noted in this modern version of Macbeth is that Lady Macbeth is presented in a beautiful, her identity is actually asserted in a beautiful manner. So Othello, first of all, I want all of you to read this particular part. And then we'll go to the 3 videos. The first one, the original one, done by, the final act of Othello. Othello by Lawrence Fishburne, the film which came out in 1995. So just go through the statement. It is the cause. It is the cause. It is the cause, my soul. Let me not name it to you. You chased us. It is the cause. Yet, will not shed a blood. So this is the portion. And I'll play 3 different versions. The first one from the 95 version of Othello. And the actor is none other than the wonderful thespian Lawrence Fishburne. Then I'll play the Hindi version, the Indian version, Omkara. And then the Malayalam version of Othello, Kaliyatam. The settings are different, but the content, the way, everything remains the same, and it is perfect alongside Othello, the original. Have a look. We'll start with the English version. Appear in the modern version. There are so many other examples also, but still.
Have you or are you that man may question?
It is the cause. It is the cause, my soul. Let me not name it to you, you chaste stars. It is the cause. Yet I will not shed her blood nor scar that whiter skin of hers than snow, smooth as an alabaster. Yet she must die. Else she'll betray more men.
So we'll take a break from this and we'll get back to the second one, that is Omkara. I think this climax is, it was really popular.
पहली बार कब सोई थी उसके साथ? कहीं कोई बच्चा तो नहीं ठहर गया ना? कबूल कर ले, जान बख्श दूंगा मैं तेरी.
The same context, but see the change of the costumes, the cultural ethos.
नहीं ले गई थी
And we'll move to the last one. The Malayalam, the version by Jayraj.
അതാണ് കാരണം അതാണ് എനിക്കത് ബോധ്യായി. ആകാശത്തിലെ നക്ഷത്രങ്ങളെ, നിങ്ങളോട് എനിക്കത് പറയാൻ വയ്യ. ഞാൻ അവളുടെ രക്തം ചിന്തുകയില്ല. മഞ്ഞിനേക്കാൾ നിർമ്മലമായ അവളുടെ ശരീരത്തിൽ ഒരു പോറൽ പോലും ഏൽപ്പിക്കില്ല. അവൾ മരിക്കണം. ഈ വെളിച്ചം ഞാൻ അണയ്ക്കട്ടെ, എന്നിട്ട് ആ ദീപവും കെടുത്തട്ടെ. ഈ വെളിച്ചം അണച്ചാൽ എനിക്ക് വീണ്ടും കൊളുത്താം. പക്ഷെ സുന്ദരമായ ആ ദീപം ഒരിക്കൽ കെടുത്തിയാൽ പിന്നീട് ഒരിക്കലും അത് കൊളുത്താൻ കഴിയില്ലല്ലോ. നിശബ്ദമായ ഈ പനിനീർ പൂവ് ഞാൻ എടുത്താൽ വീണ്ടും ജീവൻ കൊടുക്കാൻ എനിക്ക് കഴിയില്ലല്ലോ. കൊഴിയുമ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ഈ സൗരഭം നുകരട്ടെ. അവസാനമായി.
It's a beautiful episode in the film Kalyatam. I think there is no need to explain that. So, I told you about different Shakespearean adaptations, and we have watched a few already.